Adversity has been one of the main themes of the Chiefs' offense this season. They still remain one of the best in the NFL, but they're not up to their normal standards. Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce have talked specifically about, even Andy Reid have talked about how there's some execution problems. They're not living up to their own standard. They're frustrated with how things are going. So we're going to get into the Week 9 tape of the offense, talk about some of the things that they need to improve as a team, and how some individual players can improve themselves going forward after the bye week to improve the offense, the effectiveness, the impact, and the efficiency all together. Welcome in to the RGR Football channel. My name is Daniel Harms, senior film analyst here. If you're new to the channel, please hit the sub button before we get going and make sure that I allow you the opportunity to earn a like from you from this video. And if you really feel generous, hit that right now before we get into the tape, because that's what we do here. This is Wednesday, NFL film breakdown on the Kansas City Chiefs offense. Let's jump in and see what it's all about. There's more to this offense than the execution problems. This is everything considering. They've done a really great job of continuing to scheme players open, taking advantage of those. And when you have most things continuing off right and getting to the right spot, they have something like this. The Chiefs have the most drops in the NFL with 18 on the season. This is a beautiful play to Justin Watson. They're going to get everybody queued up here just beautifully. Sky Moore on the outside. We're going to talk about Sky Moore here quite a bit. And he's the biggest guy that I want to see improvement on. So I'm honestly not sure what he's running, because he comes here, and then comes back to the side. It's not a double move in the ends in the red zone. That's not what you should be doing. Regardless, that's how it looks. You have this pirate concept from Rashee Rice and Justin Watson, who's going to take this down to the field to the end zone, and then Travis Kelce releases to the outside and tries to pull the defender. That's what his goal is here. Pull the defender. Be that guy. And what he does is he wants to pull this defensive safety right here out of the way so they can hit Justin Watson. You have outside leveraged safety right here with Justin Watson. That's 1-2. That's how you win this. You cause people to come out of their position. So right here again, that safety is going to come down. He has eyes on Travis Kelce, and that means that you've got, all right, again, this outside leveraged defender here is going to have to try to come down on Justin Watson. There's nobody else in the way. You've got an underneath linebacker here. You also have a defender on Isaiah Pacheco. And all of this, again, is a great job here. Justin Watson's going to sell this vertically and then just hit the inside part of the field here. Boom, there he goes. And just drops the football. It's a tough catch. It's not an easy catch. It wouldn't be easy it wouldn't be the NFL if it was easy. But this is a catch you got to break down. A fantastic throw on a rope from Patrick Mahomes, and they drop. So it's all of these things factor in. You have the execution from the offense. You have the play side, and you have Mahomes adding his eyes onto it. So look here, middle of the field, we got eyes. All right, I see number 51. Also, that means that I see back here, and there's nobody there. So what am I going to do? We're going to look now to the left, because I know that I can make this linebacker move and get out of the throwing lane. So there's eyes to the left. There goes 51. Boom. It's a dart. It's a fantastic manipulation job by Patrick Mahomes and his eyes to be able to do that and get all through there. It's a really great job. Again, moving 51 out of the way with his eyes and then coming back to the right to hit Justin Watson. Yes, they would score on the next play, but that execution stuff goes throughout the rest of the game, and it goes throughout the rest of their season. They haven't been great in executing those. And then we get into the 3rd and 1. They convert this 3rd and 1, obviously, but we've seen this before. The creativity almost out of necessity. So they're going to fake, like this is going to be that Jerick McKinnon fullback, quote-unquote, handoff. Patrick's going to turn around here, and then they're going to hit Sky Moore on the right-hand side. But even the throw here is a little off target. It's not, obviously he catches the football, but you'd like to see it kind of put out here just a little bit more to allow Sky the ability to just then catch it and run. Instead, he has to stop, turn, and catch that football in the air, and then he has to come down with it over there and try to make a play. So all in all, it does feel like out of necessity, they have to be creative on 3rd and short to be able to convert them, and they haven't necessarily been able to do that a ton. So I'd like to see more, base period. Treat 3rd and 1 like 2nd and 5. Treat 3rd and short like any other down. Just don't get in your head so much about what it is on 3rd and short that makes this team feel like they have to get too creative. But now we're going to talk about the player that I believe needs to have the most improvement in the second half of the season, and that is Sky Moore. This is going to be his big completion on this long 95-yard touchdown drive by the Chiefs. He's not going to go outside, excuse me. He's going to release to the inside and then bend this around in between these two defenders. So you have this underneath guy here who's going to end up taking Travis Kelce, and then the safety in the back, creating this hole in the middle left part of the field where Sky's going to settle. But watch the route he runs. There's some wasted movement at the top there. Like he's making some steps. We're going to slow it down so you can see what I'm talking about. But this is part of my issue. Like, here's the release. Okay, the release is good, but watch his fake top of the route where he steps out, in, out. Like, all that's wasted movement. That needs to go away. That kind of stuff has to be gone at this point. We don't need to see that wasted move. So here it is again. Boom, boom, boom. Like, it doesn't need to be there. Either you're going to break down and get out or just bend it out. There's no reason to have that usage of movement and being in there and getting out of your break. Yes, good play. They were able to create a big play here and go down and score. And obviously Sky had a big impact on that drive there. But that wasted movement is going through every single part of his game. Every part of it. This is earlier on this drive, okay? So here's Sky Moore. And the play itself is a good play. Like, they're going to get Rashee Rice on a first down on 3rd and I think this is 3rd and 5. And it's a great catch by him. But I need to understand what's going on with Sky Moore here. This is unnecessary. He's running into the defender, which is fine. But then he's going back around. He's making too much work for himself. This is unnecessary. There's no reason to do this. All right, so the play itself is, one, he's releasing to the inside here, and then he goes outside and then runs this dig route. So you see how much wasted movement right here there is? This doesn't need to happen. What this should look like is, okay, take a jab step outside, release to the inside, boom. Much smoother. And if we take all of that out and watch his route, initially the release is fine. Inside, boom, that's fine. All right, we got the outside jab step. We're going to come up inside into space. That's fine. All of it's there. There's no need for this. There's no need for it. So I need Sky to stop doing this stuff when he's on the field and create more efficient footwork. His releases weren't really a problem coming out of college, and then top of his route work needed a little bit of work too, but this is not necessary. So the front side of the play is where we see the magic happen, because this is a fun concept for the Chiefs. They're gonna have Travis Kelce release to the the drag route. MVS is gonna run this little bender on the outside out of trips, and then they have Rashee Rice, who's gonna be patient and get to the flat. So this is pulling the defense to the left side of the field and then stretching them in vertical and horizontal fashion to try to find that one-on-one matchup. And it's a nice addition to it, this offense, because they're going to essentially have Travis Kelce try and run a pick play here. And it does enough to draw, not Nick Chubb. That is not Nick Chubb. It's Bradley Chubb, this defensive player right here who's dropping into coverage. Just does enough to create space for Rashee Rice. So boom, there he stops at the top, freezes the DB and the underneath defender, which is Bradley Chubb there, and he gets a really nice completion on 3rd down. Excellent grab from Rashee Rice, and then he was not to be heard from again in this football game. And maybe you should feature a little bit more your young, talented player that you drafted that you've been wanting to feature, and then you didn't in the second half. Also, fun to note, in the last 2 games the Chiefs have played, they have not scored in the second half at all. That needs to change. Has to change going forward. You have to be able to adjust in the second half of football games. But right now, they're having issues compounding their own issues. This play itself, twofold. It's all twofold, because this is a misread by Patrick Mahomes, in my opinion. We've got Rashee Rice on the outside on the left. We talked about him possibly playing more on the outside. This might be what we see, and it's just going to be, you know, this little slant route. This little slant, no big deal. You have Sky Moore running this out route. Excuse me, I always do that. The corner route. So you see how that pulls the defense to the inside into the outside. It gives them two different functions here. You Travis Kelce, who's going to run over the middle as well. And then on the backside, you have MVS running more of a dig route here, release to the inside and do that. So you have attack the middle of the field, attack the outside, and then the backside, you have this dig route. The Chiefs like to have these backside dig routes, these backside in routes, whatever you want to call them. And again, watch the defense here. I want you to notice something we usually see from Patrick Mahomes. There is a good chunk of space. There's 8 yards of separation here from between Rashee Rice and this player right there. So we saw the play unfold. This goes for an incompletion, but his eyes are going to Travis Kelce in the middle of the field first. They are going to drop a safety to him, which is part of the problem as well. It's a read after the play, so we have a stop here, come downhill. All right, so he's basically just reading the eyes of Patrick Mahomes and going to Travis Kelce. He's getting downfield immediately. But if we look, we got 2 defenders here, and then you have Rashee Rice, who's going to pop right here. So you got eyes on Travis Kelce from the defense here, from 2 guys there, and then you've also got 2 defenders that are going to end up widening and getting deep with Sky Moore. With all that space, this should 100% be going to Rashee Rice. And because of the added attention to Travis Kelce, this, in my opinion, again, needs to be a read. Pre-snap, I see space. I understand that my wide receiver to this side is running here. So I have space to the inside. He's going to run essentially a clear out for my wide receiver who's running here. This needs, in my opinion, needs to be what we see. Needs to be what is seen pre-snap and then executed post-snap. If you want eyes on Travis Kelce first, that's perfectly fine. But it needs to go Travis Kelce, all right, Rashee Rice balls out. And then instead, we have that not happening, and then Patrick Mahomes has to get out of the pocket. And this is where we get to see the Chiefs compounding that error in judgment, in my opinion. They have a stunt coming on from the defense. 94 is going to get into that A-gap, across the A-gap, and they loop around, and they don't pick up the stunt. A couple of different things are going on here, but I mean, first of all, this guy right here, Jalen Phillips, was a game wrecker all game for the Miami Dolphins. But 94 is going to kind of come this way and then get around into this A-gap. Okay, so it's going to take players with him. They isolate Trey Smith here, make him think that he's free and clear, and then they attack. So 92 is going to hesitate, release here. He's going to kind of stop and then loop all the way back around. Come back all the way around. It's a really nice job on the stunt, but Trey Smith, unfortunately, he moves to the right. Okay, I see help. I need to be able to go help him. Jeez, it's like a double stunt. They have 2 guys coming inside in Jalen Phillips, number 15 and the 94. So it's like a slant this way, and then I'm just going to loop you all the way around, right? Just coming this way. It's a really nice stunt, and it doesn't get picked up, unfortunately, because of the ability that they have here. Just look at the space they create. He's got to now overcome all of that. He gets pushed off, and it's all bad. So you have the misread, in my opinion, from Patrick Mahomes initially, and then it's compounded with not being able to pick up that huge looping stunt, it's a really good drawn-up play from Vic Fangio. Again, you have 2 guys slanting from right to left that we're looking at, and then 92 looping all the way around. Really nice job because they do assume Patrick's getting out of the pocket that way. So all of that being said, that's a little bit of execution. Seeing that they're going to be doing that, we're going to probably see more teams slant against the Chiefs and do those stunts around like that. But they need to be a little bit more prepared to see those going forward. And then we have some of the blocking issues where, okay, yeah, it's not going to be perfect every single time, but they're just running this single back power out of pistol, and they pull Trey Smith. So you block down here, you're going to have pretty much everyone blocked down, and then they're going to leave this man, the up man here, number 43, I believe that's Van Ginkel, as the guy that you're going to come down to block. All right? And Trey Smith's going to block out here. So, Jawan Taylor's going to block out here. So this play doesn't go for much, specifically because of the way that Trey Smith tries to block number 43. And yes, it probably wouldn't have gone for much regardless, but we're talking about the difference between a 0-yard gain or a 1-yard gain and maybe a 4 or a 5, keeping them on pace or on the target here. So Van Ginkel is going to kind of step down and reduce this right here, but he's going to get inside and just rip underneath and through. And Trey Smith kind of lunges at him, and that compounds the rest of it. You have Donovan Smith kind of not getting to the next level. He does, but he doesn't. So it's all, the run blocking here is all trying to get a wash down. They want to wall off like this area right here. That's what they want to do and allow Trey Smith to pull all the way through. And unfortunately, they can't. So we have some of the run blocking errors compounding themselves too. You know, it's not just Donovan Smith there. It's Noah Gray missing his block on the linebacker too. So I want to see more of this from the Chiefs. Yeah, this is a nice duo play. It gets them in space, and it gets Isaiah Pacheco going forward, and it keeps the offense on, and he's able to then grind out yards. Be physical. Get physical with them. I want to see them do this more often, maybe run more duo exclusively. They ran a ton of like split zone and zone in this game. This offensive line is more of a zone-based offensive line, but this right here is a good play for them, especially when we're seeing this type of front. So you have a double team right here from Joe Thuney and Donovan Smith. You have a block doubled here from Trey Smith and Creed Humphrey. You're going to block down here, and Travis Kelce is going to block out this way. And what that does, because we see the defense here is a very predictable two linebackers. What it allows is then it allows the Chiefs offensive linemen to work down off the blocks, get off the blocks and into the next level, and allows Pacheco to get his motor going. When he gets the motor going, he's a much better player. So he does a nice job actually of setting up this block here from Creed Humphrey, because if he just takes off right here, this linebacker is going to have an opportunity to come down here and just get into the middle of the field. So instead, he widens just a little bit, and then it gets upfield after he does that. Really nice jump cut from him right there too. Something we don't see a ton from Isaiah Pacheco, but obviously the helmet comes off. Physicality here is all everywhere, and I love what they did in this specific play. I think they should be running more duo myself, because that allows Pacheco to get into space. It allows the offensive linemen, the interior specifically, to do what they do best, and it doesn't let the tackles be one of the problems or pulling guys and missing because they're lunging, stuff like that. So I really like what they're doing in the duo game. They've been much better this year at running duo and being successful at it. So I'd like to see that. And then the big thing that we're all kind of hoping makes a bigger impact is the deep ball. The deep ball has been one of the biggest disappointments in the Chiefs offense this season. And it's not a bad play. It is slightly underthrown from Patrick, but he's stepping up in the pocket, got somebody in his face, and then it's kind of a moon ball. And you know, MVS just doesn't have the ability to come back to that football and go get it. I know it's tough. I know it's not easy. I'm saying this from a computer chair, but they do a good job of isolating the one-on-one. And that is MVS, who's going to run this kind of like inside breaker bender route to the outside and then upfield. Travis Kelce is going to run to the inside, up, and out. So this is a 3-level outside concept, and you have the flat route here from Rashee Rice. So we can see that we have, like I said, that 3-level concept. So deep, intermediate, short, all on the same side. You find where that one-on-one matchup is. You go after it, especially depending on your read. And then on the backside, you have Justin Watson running this curl, and then he gets out to the right-hand side. All of this, again, to say that they did a nice job of isolating and attacking downfield and initially picking up some of the pressure, allowing Patrick to step up into the pocket and throw it. I think you got to make this play. And this is not the first time that we've seen almost this identical play from MVS. It's not every deep ball is going to be on the money. And unfortunately, like I said, for Patrick, who's stepping up and trying to step into this throw a little bit, it's slightly underthrown, but you get hands on it, you got to make the catch. So the deep ball has got to come back. They got to find ways to attack defenses down the field again in different ways. But they did a good job here, again, of isolating that one-on-one pressure with those safeties coming up and then attacking downfield. So they can still do it. I think that they're going to be better at it in the second half of the season, but they really do need that spark. Those big plays, those big sparks typically get the offense back humming and back in rhythm. So we get to see that a little bit more. I think that the Chiefs offense will get back into that rhythm. I think that against the Eagles, they'll have an opportunity to do that. But these are some of the things that I'd like to see the Chiefs offense get better at going into, not coming out of the bye, excuse me. Sky Moore, stop with the added motion. Run your route, period. That's it. Stop with the added motion. You're making it too difficult on yourself and very easy for the defense to be able to stop you. The run game, execution, run blocks, fit them, run the plays that you're good at. I think duo, inside zone, and then getting the ball to the outside. I want to see a little more outside zone and maybe pitches again. Back to those pitches where they're actually very good at getting Pacheco to the outside. And then the deep ball itself. Like that has to be something they get better at this season. Whoever that's going to be, Rashee Rice, maybe I'd like to see him get some deep opportunities because he has those ball skills. Allow him to do that. Let's see it. Air it out. Change some things up a little bit. Get players in a better position to succeed. Out of the break here from going against the Eagles on Monday Night Football is going to be an opportunity to showcase that you figured out some of the things that your offense is good at and the things they can get better at. Going through the last half of the NFL season, Patrick has to play a little bit better as well. That's notwithstanding. He's got to play a little bit better, raise his level of play, and this offense is going to start to get humming again with a defense that is complementary to a very good offense. It's a really good mix if they can get the offense right. So I hope you guys enjoyed this breakdown, going through some of the plays that they need to get better at, some of the things they did well, but having to understand that you can't have 18 drops on the season leading the season. You can't be turning the ball over as much as they have, and you can't not score in the second half and win football games every single time. You can't do it. Get better after the bye, and we'll see this offense and team really start to ramp up as the postseason comes along. So make sure, I hope I was able to earn a like for you guys today, but if, you have some questions and things like that, make sure to ask them in the comment section. Also, you can hit me up on Twitter at InHarmsWay19. I'm always available to answer questions that you guys have. And also join us on the Monday night Q&A to ask those questions to myself and Ryan as well. Friday, we will have another breakdown for you guys for the Monday Night Football game. It's going to be awesome. I'm excited to see what the game plan is going to be for the Chiefs, and I hope you guys are too. Have yourselves a fantastic day.